My dear fifth grade children, good morning to all. How are you, ma? Are you fine? I hope that you are doing very well. Now we have social science section. Let us start to study social science. Okay. Today's we will see that lesson 12th. That is the title of the lesson is India's non-material heritage. Today also we continue this lesson. We have already learnt these India's non-material heritage, oral tradition and performing arts. This India's non-material heritage can be divided into 6 main categories. That is, yes, you know, that is first one, oral tradition and performing arts, people skills, science, tradition and philosophy. So, this oral tradition already we have learned. So, that is clearly you understood. I think so. So, now we see that the next topic performing arts. Okay, that is, shall we continue that? These performing arts included drama, music, and dance. Now we see the title music. That India's musical heritage is old only. What's the meaning of heritage? Heritage means the qualities and cultures of the country that have existed for long time, that have great importance to our country, important for all the countries. This heritage. India's music, that is mainly classical music, is known as Carnatic in the south, and the north it is Hindustani. Already we have learned in the previous class. This classical music is based on ragas. Ragas means that is tune. That are a few hundred years old. This classical music, age of the classical music is few hundred years old. Not 800, few hundred. Raga means that is a basic tune. This heritage means we know, already we have learned, that is the culture of the country, culture, qualities and tradition of the country that is passed on one generation to other. That is, the heritage is passed on that Guru Shishya tradition. Already we have learned Guru Shishya means who is Guru? That is a Guru means teacher and Shishya means students. At that time few Shishyas only have one Guru and few Shishyas to whom this knowledge is passed on orally. Orally means, ma? Yes, okay, fine. Orally means telling, not for writing, listening only, orally. This knowledge passed on orally, not for writing, not for they don't know reading. Okay, in ancient period. So history means we know that is past events. And music has also been important on religious and social occasions like festivals, weddings, birth, and harvesting of crops. There are traditional songs for all such occasion. Harvesting period means at that time also special songs, wedding time and birth. Okay, so such occasions which are an important part of our heritage. And India music is placed on variety of instruments that we know. Some of them are belonging to a particular place, some others come from outside of India. Now see that drums like tabla and mridangam and the dolak have developed in India. That is a very famous for in India Carnatic music. That is mridangam, tabla and dolak. That's developed these instruments, musical instruments developed from India. At the same time, the flute and the veena are also belonging to particular place. The sitar is developed from how it is developed, because it is developed from a similar instrument from Persia, now called Iran. So Iran one instrument that is similar to our instrument the sitar. And next, sarod. The sarod is an instrument. It is similar from Central Asian instrument, that instrument called rabab. So this rabab is similar to, now we use that sarod instrument, musical instrument. The harmonium and the violin came from Europe. So the musical instrument, some of them in India, it is belonging to our place, particular place. Others have come from outside of the India. For example, harmonium and violin came from Europe. But now we are used extensively to play Indian music. Okay, ma? Then veena is one of the India's earliest instruments. Veena. Can you see that veena? Yeah, that veena is the one of the India's earliest instruments. It is not much played these days now. Instead of the violin is used to Indian classical music, particularly Carnatic music. Instead of veena, now used violin is used in Indian classical music, particularly Carnatic music. The southern part of people, mostly the famous music is Carnatic music only. The harmony is very popular in India, but that instrument came from Europe. The sarod being played in a concert. Concert means that is a performance, the musical culture. Okay, well, these are about the skills of this music is come under the performing arts, that is drama, music and dance. Okay, so now we have learnt music, we learnt dance and drama also. Okay, so the second category, performing arts, now over. Now we see that the skills of the people. Skills means the knowledge of the people. That is, now see ma, masons, sculptors, painters and metal workers and other crafts people were skilled. They have very well knowledge about in each categories. Do you know mason? What's the mason? Mason means a person who makes things from stone. That person is called masons. And sculptors make something, figures or any other things made from wood or stones, that is sculptors, painters, metal workers, and other crafts peoples also very skilled. Very important points, that is the skills still exist and have been passed down from one generation to next generation. So ancient period people have very well developed the knowledge about masons, sculptors, painters, metal workers, and other crafts people. They were very knowledgeable, but that skills now also continue. It have been passed from one generation to next generation. For example, now see here, spinning and weaving. That is for one example, spinning and weaving. Yes, this is India's oldest Indian skills, spinning. Oldest means now see the time when the period it was used, that is spinning. That's the time 2500 BCE. BCE means before Christian era, that is Harappan civilization. At that time also, very ancient period also, people have the knowledge about, skill about spinning and weaving. In Harappan times, cotton was grown. We used cotton dresses in summer days, isn't it? Yes, but 2500 BCE, before Christian era, at that time also, people have the knowledge, skills about cotton. This cotton was grown and spun and woven. That is, cotton trees planted and that make something turn around that quickly. That is, they are manufacture of threads, cotton, and woven means making thread also. So 2500 BCE, before Christian era, the people also have the skills of spinning and weaving. Okay, now listen here, it's very excellent one. Over the centuries, Indian weavers began to produce textile of excellent quality, which were in great demand in India. This India's textile is very excellent quality, so it is very great demand in India for all over the world, because Indian fabrics were very delicate. Why this Indian textile is very demand? Because Indian fabrics were very delicate, very soft. For example, the name that Dhaka muslins, that is malmal. The name of that fabric, malmal, were so fine that they could pass through a ring. Now see here, can you understand more? Now see here, listen carefully. Indian fabrics were, fabrics means that is material, make the dress. That is, Indian fabrics were very soft. For example, that variety of that fabrics, name of that Dhaka muslins, that is malmal. That fabric were so fine that they could pass through a ring. The whole family was involved in spinning the thread and weaving the muslin. So, spinning weaving, one family, all the members of the family was involved in spinning, and they make the thread and weaving the muslin. Indians weavers beautiful designs. They make beautiful designs in cotton and later in silk too. First, they made very beautiful designs in cotton and they make silk fabric also. The weavers of Varanasi were especially famous for this. Varanasi, where is Varanasi? Varanasi in it lies in Uttar Pradesh state. It is mainly situated in the middle of the Ganges Valley. It is very famous for Varanasi weavers are very famous, especially famous for this hand weaver. Okay, they are silk brocade. Indian weavers wove beautiful designs in cotton or later in silk too. The weavers of Varanasi were especially famous for this. Where is Varanasi? Yes, Varanasi lies in Uttar Pradesh state, and the weavers of Varanasi were very especially famous for this. That is silk brocades. What is silk brocades, ma? They are the production of silk and this broadcast with that is very beautifully decorated the fabrics of silk, and they used the threads of silver and gold. Okay, so their silk brocades woven with real silver and real gold threads had a variety of beautiful designs. So the Varanasi weavers are especially famous for. These skills are still of an excellent quality, but these groves people are facing severe competition from fabrics made in textile mills. These hand woven peoples are excellent skill and they manufactured excellent quality. But these cross peoples are facing severe competition from fabrics made in textile mills. Okay, that's the problem how. Yes, now we see that water harvesting. That is people's skills. It is under the category of people's skill, the skills of the people. So in ancient period also, the skills of the people is very excellent. For example, now we see that spinning and weaving. Okay, so before 2500 BCE, the cotton was grown, spun and woven, and very excellent quality also they had manufactured. Okay, that is skills of the people. Then second example, water harvesting. What is water harvesting, ma? This ancient times Indians, the people of India, ancient people learned to understand nature and to use it carefully. They understand nature. Ancient period also, the people like to live with nature and to use it carefully. How? That is water harvesting. For example, water harvesting is one example of this, because the monsoon was the main source of fresh water, so it was necessary to find ways of gathering or harvesting. Rainwater is a year-round water supply. Okay, They understand that the nature, because they know this monsoon was the main source of fresh water. Monsoon means this monsoon winds only mainly gives the rains. So these rainwater only the fresh water. For example, this sea water means that is a salty water. So this fresh water is, so it was necessary to find to store that water, or gathering or harvesting, because this rainwater for a year round water supply. There were various methods of harvesting water to suit the different environments of the subcontinent. So very ancient period also the people store collecting the fresh water, that is mainly rainwater. In Tamil Nadu 2001, we are also collect the rainwater compulsory. Tamil Nadu state is the, it is, we used that tank or anyway we collect the rainwater. But before ancient period, many centuries ago, the people have the knowledge, the skill of collecting the rainwater, that is harvesting or gathering or collecting this rainwater. For example, people dug tanks where rainwater would collect so that it could be useful later. Okay, people dug tanks where rainwater would collect, for why? It could be used later. Today, when fresh water is becoming scarce, people have realized the importance of traditional methods of water harvesting. Okay, but today fresh water is become scarce, insufficient. People have realized the importance of traditional methods of water harvesting. Okay, so the ancient period, the people also have the skills of spinning and weaving and water harvesting. Not only these two, in so many ways they have excellent skills. Then medicine and science, that is category of medicine and science, that is, it is the example of mainly non-material heritage is Ayurveda. Ancient period medicine means that is Ayurveda, an ancient Indian system of medicine which we use mostly Ayurveda means that is a herbs and natural products. It is still used today. So ancient period, the skills we used today also, it is still used today, because many centuries of experience has shown Ayurvedic doctors with natural treatments work well for various illness. So this many centuries of experiences has shown these Ayurvedic doctors with natural treatments work well for various illness. People also discovered the medicinal uses of several plants. These remedies are used by thousands of people. So ancient period, this non-material heritage in medicine means that is a Ayurveda. Okay, then next, the day-to-day traditions. What is that? Tradition means the cultural changes. It is different from person to person or particular generation to, it is passed from one generation to other generation. These traditional customs are still followed in many areas of people's lives, in such as weddings or festivals. But Indians have also adopted new ideas. For example, food. Sivian at it or the Pongal rice is the Tamil harvest festival. So Tamil harvest Pongal means we have special food, that is a Tamil harvest festival, that is a we prepared Pongal. Some favorite Indian foods, Indian favorite food items, that is your food items, your favorite food items like biryani, jalebi, gulab jamun, samosas, alwa, and naan. Naan spelling N-A-A-N. What is that? What food item this? Do you know? That is a floured bread. Naan means N-A-A-N. That is food item. That is a flat bread. This came from outside India several centuries ago. Okay, so this biryani, your favorite food items, biryani, jalebi, gulab jamun, samosas, alwa, and naan. This came from outside India several centuries ago. Then they go back to the time of the Mughals, and some came even earlier. And other food item, that is dandoor, and in which naans and tandoori chicken are cooked. Do you like tandoori chicken? Yes, this tandoori chicken and this naan, that is a bread, are cooked. It came from Central Asia. Then Europeans brought chilies, tomatoes, and potatoes to India. So the food items are mainly we have some of the traditional food and some favorite food items came from other part of India also. Okay, then clothes. Mainly these sculptures and art tell us what in ancient times people in the subcontinent wore unstitched clothes. Ancient period, these people used the unstitched clothes. That is how to we know means the sculptures and some of the art tell us. What is a sculpture? We have already learnt the art of making a figure or object from wood or clay. Okay, clay and stone also. The art of making figures or some objects. So these sculptures tell us ancient period people used these unstitched clothes. But we still see this in some of the dhotis, saris and shawls. It is they unstitched clothes only. However, when stitched clothes came to India, first from Central Asia and from Europe. So the stitched clothes came to India first from Central Asia and then from Europe. Okay, then latest today's stitched clothes were worn all over the country. Some clothes were worn today like churidars, other pajamas, tubas and fabrics. Okay, so other clothes worn today, that is girls dress, churidars, pajamas or dupattas of fine fabrics are similar to clothes worn in the time of Mughal rulers. Okay, ma'am. So anyway, India's material heritage is that is visible and therefore well known, but the non-material heritage is often goes unnoticed. However, it is also important and is living heritage in many aspects of people lives. So this non-material heritage is not visible, but it is also very important because it is a living heritage in many aspects of people's lives. Okay, ma'am, bye. We will see the next class. Okay.